In Charles Dickens' 1843 novel, The Christmas Carol, the ghost of Jacob Marley comes to visit his former business partner, Ebenezer Scrooge, on Christmas Eve. The two of them had been like two peas in a pod. Both were greedy, selfish, and they had a very uncaring attitude towards mankind. Marley in chains has been in torment since he died on Christmas Eve years earlier, and he now sees the hardships that people suffer. He laments that he has lost his chance to help them. Marley is filled with great remorse, and now he wants to spare his former business partner this same punishment. He arranges for 3 spirits to visit Scrooge on Christmas Eve. And he wants Scrooge to have the opportunity to change and be a kinder and more generous person to those in need. In this week's reading from St. Luke's Gospel, we hear the familiar story of Lazarus and the rich man. In life, the rich man had everything, beautiful clothes and plenty to eat and drink, and Lazarus had nothing but sores and scraps and dogs to lick his wounds. Lazarus would have done just about anything to eat the scraps that fell from the rich man's table. The 2 men die, and the table's now reversed. Lazarus now rests in the bosom of Abraham in heaven, and the rich man is in torment. Where Lazarus once wished for scraps from the table of the rich man now wishes for drops of cool water from Lazarus to quench his great thirst. There's great irony in the story. Even in torment, the rich man expects to be waited on. He wants Abraham to send Lazarus to him in hell to quench his thirst. He even asks Abraham to send Lazarus, like Jacob Marley, to warn his brothers to not be greedy. Abraham lets him know that this is not possible. There's enough evidence already to remind people to not ignore those in need on their doorstep. The rich man's sin was not that he mistreated Lazarus. It was his indifference. He failed to even notice that Lazarus was on his doorsteps. He walks right by him every day and does not ever take notice. The first time that the rich man even notices Lazarus is when Lazarus is in the bosom of Abraham in heaven. And what does he notice? He notices that Lazarus has more than him. The rich man remains blind even in death. When Pope John Paul made one of his visits to our country, he said, "America, Lazarus is on your doorstep." He encouraged all of us to take notice of those in need and to do what we can to help them. Our newest saint, Teresa of Calcutta, told us, "Find your own Calcutta." It is good for us to take some time today to pray for the poor on our doorsteps and to determine how we can best help them. In a few weeks, many parishes will sponsor Blanket Sunday, give you the opportunity to check your closets and see what you can pass on to those in need. Next month is Respect Life Month. Our parishes will call us to think, how can I better show respect to the members of our society who are neglected? There are a lot of reminders around us today. Let us take notice of what the Lord would want us to do and not be filled with remorse and regret someday for our failure to take notice.